They've already kind of seen me play. I played against Joe last year. I had a good workout. That last workout was pretty extensive, and this one yesterday was about just field goals and stuff like that, because Pinion does the kickoffs right now, so it's just pretty much just field goals.
How long did it take you to get comfortable with Liam and Bradley?
I mean, pretty much right away. I mean, I've known them, kind of worked with them for about 2 days now, but I kind of met them before in previous games and stuff like that, and I mean, they're great dudes. I mean, it's hard not to get along with people like that, and they've embraced me so far, so it's been awesome. I mean, I feel like all specialist groups are usually pretty laid back and pretty much the same type of people, and those guys are awesome and amazing.
Where were you when you found out about the opportunity?
I was actually on the field at my high school kicking, and usually try to time up my kicking regimen with the workout regimen times, but I didn't know if we were gonna get a workout that week, so went and kicked Monday. I was at my high school working on the field, and then I got a call from my agent, so pretty much shut it down pretty quick, hopped on a flight, and then had a workout yesterday. So they're giving me the day off to relax, and I'll be out there swinging tomorrow.
Apologize if anybody's already asked this. Have you kicked overseas before?
Yeah, my rookie year, I played out in Twickenham Stadium in London. It was a fun experience. Everything's fun, just the flight's a little longer than usual, so that's the only part you got to get used to. But, I mean, it was pretty much the exact same regimen. We left on a Thursday, got there Friday morning, went right to practice. Pretty much a standard protocol, I think, for most teams, unless you go all week. But for me, it's the same exact thing, so I think I got a little preparation. It was a little while ago. It was about 8 years ago, so it's going to be a little different, but I'm excited.
On the field kicking, too, how does any of that change?
The only thing different over there is the field is a little bit more slicker, a little softer. The soccer pitches out there are a little different than out here. I would say a little bit more damp. But I mean, we've already kind of addressed that, got cleats ready and stuff like that, so I don't think it'll be too much of an issue.
I've also heard specialists say that they love the kicking side of things over there. Like when people go to kick a field goal, it's like their favorite part.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, they thoroughly enjoy it. I mean, that's probably the main thing they get and understand. And then for me as an outside, going into it's cool to watch their version of tailgating. So it's it's a little different, but pretty much similar. So it's the same to see all the different cultures across the world doing the kind of the same thing. So I enjoy it. I mean, I embraced it, and I'm just kind of really excited to get out there.
You guys are in Arizona, or
we're in
where
Houston?
Are you guys? Okay, got it.
I would imagine being dropped into a team mid-season is stressful and kind of chaotic. Does this week go with international travel make it any more so?
I think it kind of breaks it up a little bit. It kind of makes it fun, something different. I mean, I like to go out to Europe and watch soccer a good amount. So for me, it's going to be a fun experience. Never been to Berlin, so it'll be cool to enjoy it, see the stadium and all kind of good stuff like that. But yeah, being dropped in the season is always a little bit more stressful than being here to begin the season. But I mean, that kind of comes with the territory and the job. I mean, you just never know when your number is going to get called. Just got to be ready and stay ready.
Sorry, can we do the last couple questions over there so the cameras get a few?
David's over there.
I know, she's just going to stand right
I
next to him.
can send it to them.
Okay, we can do that if we
I'm
want.
wondering, before they even brought you in, did they say, do you have your passport? Was that part
Yeah, they made sure, before I came on the flight that I had my passport ready to go and all kind of stuff like that. And I did, so had that ready, and that was the first thing they grabbed from me once I signed. So I still haven't seen it yet, so I think I'm going to get it at the airport.
You mentioned you're a big European soccer fan. Who's your club?
Chelsea, big Chelsea guys. So I go to London once a year to go watch them, and then me and my wife will bounce around. So we've been all over. Been to Germany, we've been to Barcelona, been to Italy. Kind of bounce around, and try to watch as much as we can. And bless her heart, she's awesome, and she's okay with it. I mean, some people wouldn't want to travel the world to watch some soccer, but we sprinkle in some vacations in there too. So.
And this is a legendary stadium when it comes to that.
Yeah, the 06 World Cup final was there. I think that's I'm a big Zidane fan. That was his last game. Was at that stadium. I remember watching like a kid. So for me, it's all neat to just be a part of that. I got to play in London in 2017, but it was a rugby field. It wasn't a soccer field, so it'll be an interesting experience, and I'm excited for it.
So how much are you looking forward to this week and going over to Germany?
Yeah, quite a lot. I mean, it's my hometown, it's my family, a lot of friends at the game, so really excited to see them all. Being at the stadium where I watched a lot of soccer growing up, so yeah, really looking forward to that.
I'm assuming you've probably been to this stadium as a fan, maybe.
Oh yeah, 50 times, a lot of times. Yeah.
So you're gonna be showing everyone around.
Oh yeah, I will.
What's the first meal that you're gonna show your teammates in Berlin?
I think they all want to try some traditional German food, so probably something I wouldn't probably eat in the first place, but yeah, something traditionally German, some bratwurst, some schnitzel, yeah, something like that.
Why wouldn't you eat that? Because it's just kind of regular food, not a.
Yeah, it's nothing special for me. Probably.
I don't know how many of them have done international trips, but have you given them tips on jet lag or flight or adjusting to the time zone?
Yeah, I think our medical staff is pretty good with that, preparing us for that trip with the time difference, sleeping on the plane, when to sleep, when to stay awake. So yeah, I think we'll all be well prepared.
Is it crazy? Is it crazy to think that the NFL is coming to your hometown, and not even that you're just a part of it, but just the NFL itself is the reach that it has now?
No, I think it is. And I think the NFL is doing a great job of kind of expanding the game, globalizing the game, because there's fans everywhere. Like Germany and Berlin especially is full of football fans. So I think it's a form of giving back to them, just bringing the game to them. And yeah, it's a great thing.
At what point in your life do you remember the NFL being a thing, becoming a thing that folks were aware of and were interested in?
Probably when I was like 12, 13, so like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's when I started watching football, playing Madden, and yeah, ever since then.
Was Madden what got you into the game more than football? Or,
Probably, yeah.
Do you remember the first teams or players that caught your eye that you were like, or that were popular maybe in Berlin for whatever reason?
I think back then the Giants were pretty popular. Obviously the Patriots, the Seahawks. I like the Steelers as well. So yeah, those teams. Yeah.
Are there any misconceptions about Germany that Americans have that you want to set the record straight on?
I mean, probably a lot. But I would say the main thing is, I think a lot of people think Germany kind of looks like in the movies. So really traditionally, you know, a lot of beer, a lot of like bratwurst, a lot of mountains. I would say Berlin is quite the opposite. So it's really international, not as traditionally German as you might think. So yeah, I always say it's kind of like the German New York or like the European New York. So a lot of different cultures just in one part. Yeah.
What has this year been like for you in a sense that the Falcons have had these struggles at kicker, and just watching it from your perspective?
Yeah, for me it's been a lot of learning, honestly. Just seeing how those guys go about their game, starting with Koo, then Romo, and now Zane, working with him, and even Bradley, who used to kick. So yeah, it's been really, obviously it's not ideal for a franchise to be in that situation, to always like kind of, you know, question that position. But yeah, for me it's been good. I've learned a lot, I'm improving a lot, so yeah, I appreciate the guys I can work with, can talk with, and yeah, it's been good.
Stressful way to make a living, being an NFL kicker.
It is, yeah. It's kind of the beauty of it, but also, yeah, like a high risk, as you said. It's, yeah, you're on a quite short leash, I would say. So perfection is what you're striving for. Obviously, it's not possible throughout the whole season, but yeah.
How was your game developed, do you think?
I think it started like even like outside of this, just me as a man, you know, growing and developing, being away from my family, just learning a lot about myself, and then obviously on the field, just having that constant environment of pros I can learn from, and just yeah, being in a gym all the time, watching my film, just how I go about my life as a football player and as a man just improved, I would say.
Would you consider yourself a perfectionist?
Yeah, I think everyone, like every specialist is to some extent. Obviously it can get to a point where it's like too much, so you always need that kind of distance and like realism of things, but yeah, I would consider myself that.
First of all, how excited are you to go to Berlin?
Really excited. First time in Europe, first time playing football outside the U.S. So, can't wait to go see the fans out there. Can't wait to go play and give them a good show.
How have they prepared you for this trip here in the facility?
I mean, these guys, they've been putting this plan in for like a long time. We had a team meeting. They've been putting in work in for 2 months. Nutrition-wise, got to get a meal in. We should get some sleep on the plane. When we get there, it's gonna be 8 in the morning. We go straight to practice. So we gotta wake up, get some energy. It's gonna be early and long flight. So I'm excited just to go out there and have fun.
Are you someone who can sleep on a plane?
Yeah, I'm going right to sleep when I get in there.
When you look at this matchup with the Colts, Jonathan Taylor is the leading rusher in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
What kind of challenge does that present your defense?
Yeah, these guys, they do a great job running the zone open, getting that ball outside with them. He spots to cut back, and he's really good back. Played him in college a couple times, one time in the Rose Bowl. And so, I'm very similar to what he's doing. We're very, very confident in the scheme that we got. The game plan is very simple. It's just stick to what we know. Can't, get off the ball, dark room. Like Nate always says, this is actually the biggest dark room game. He says, we got to go out there and stop the run.
Why is this the biggest one?
Because the front that he instilled in us, like this is the front to stop zone open, and this is right. Like you trust your training, trust everything that these coaches prepared you with, and just go out there and do your job.
Oh, Nate coached at Indianapolis too. So is it a little personal for him to stop this run?
Very personal, and he's told us that it's got to be personal for us too, and we're gonna go out there and we're gonna represent for my guy, man.
Raheem said it a couple times after these losses, the urgency to get things fixed. What do you guys think you guys have fixed to this point?
I mean, if you look at it, like, last week against New England, I feel like it looked better. Looked better than how it usually did. On the stats-wise, it still says we let them rush for over 100 yards. But, both the backs had like 55, 25, and Drake had a couple. And at the end of the day, bro, just sticking to what we're doing, trust the process, and let's not get into caught up what these guys are saying on social media and everybody's thinking that we can't stop the run. We know what we're doing up front. It looks better. We got to keep rushing up front on third down. Biggest thing, we got to get these guys in third and long. We get them third and long and pin our ears back. It's going to be fun.
Gotcha. Now, Tara was asking about Germany earlier. Is there any German food that you're craving?
No. I don't know any German. I don't know anything about Germany. Yeah, so, they said it's going to be tough to find something that I'm going to like. I'm going to make sure I don't eat nothing that's going to hurt my stomach. I want to be able to play on Sunday. So I'm going to stick to something simple, nothing crazy.
Are you a picky eater?
I wouldn't say I'm really picky, but if it doesn't look pleasing, I'm not going to try it. But I don't want to be rude to their culture and stuff. But I want to try some stuff out there for sure.
I would say lately, one of the big factors, if you're talking about on the defensive side of the ball, stopping the run was one of the big factors we had to make progress with. I think last week we made a couple strides with that. Talking about this week, we have another opponent. Jonathan Taylor. We know what he represents. We know what they're going to try to do. So just trying to stop the run, making that team one-dimensional, and I think it's going to work in our favor.
Defense-wise, next step for you guys to get where you want to be, what has to happen?
Third down conversion, we got to find ways to stop them. I feel like last week we did a pretty good job on first and second down, and third down kind of killed us a little bit. So just a matter of taking all of that out of the picture, making sure we stop them on third down. So pretty much it.
With you mentioned Jonathan Taylor. They use him in a variety of different ways this year. They bring him in motion a lot. What kind of stands out about how they're using him and how he's been so effective this year?
He's a good back. I think a lot of his fast, so a lot of it just comes down to him making plays out the backfield. I feel like his strength when he gets out the first level with that, he like a 4.3 speed. So just being able to run, he's a fast back, so we got to make sure we stop. But it's going to take all of us.
Hankering for German food. Anything that you got? Anything that you want to try? Beer samples? What do you got?
Wow, never been to Germany. I'm pretty open, I'm going to get down there. I'm going to try to figure out what's the flavor of the city, so I'm all for it.
You want to try a boot?
What that is?
Fill beer up with boot. Drink out of the boot. You try that? You do that?
No way. Well, if I didn't have a game, probably. Do have a game, so probably not.
Celebratory boot, then.
Yeah.
If you want.
After the game.
Yeah. Fair deal.
Who knows?
Yeah. That's football before that, or?
Yeah. I've been playing football since I was 7, and stuff like that. Pop Warner and all that stuff. So, and you play over there, and it's I would classify it more of like a 2A type situation where there's not much resources and talent-wise, it's not all there, just because of the situation. But still good football and good opportunity for kids to continue playing and being a part of high school sports.
How many of your teammates know your history, and if they've been?
A lot of them kind of know. They've been asking me questions about what life is like over in Germany and stuff like that, and so I've been trying to inform them a little bit, but a lot of them just go to the kicker, and he's knows a little bit more than me. So
that's true. Yeah.
He's more an authentic German.
Exactly.
Apologies if this was asked already, but are you having a lot of friends coming out to the game?
I have a couple friends coming out, and a couple old coaches are coming out, so we got to see them. I haven't seen them in about 10 plus years, so they're all super excited and everything, and they're excited to see me play.
How do you evaluate your performance last week just against the Patriots?
Pretty good overall. It's weird, you don't get a lot of the reps with the ones in practice and stuff like that. You know how it goes, being a backup and stuff, but and then just being forced out there and pretty early in the game. So overall, I think pretty good. A couple different miscues and stuff. That's on me, but I'm excited to get out there this week and show more what I can do.
I know you said that you're treating it like a business trip, but it's kind of a cool twist of fate, though, isn't it? Not that that you're getting to start in a place where you went to high school. Yeah, definitely weird how it all comes around and stuff like that. And but for me, I can't get too much into the sentimental and stuff like that because it's a different circumstance I'm going into, and I'm treating this like I said, like a business trip, and just so happens to be in a place that I used to live in. So that's how I'm treating it going into the week, and especially
with different schedule and stuff like that, like I really got to stay focused on it.
I asked Raheem this, but the running game, kind of what did you see Sunday, and how do you feel like it's going?
Yeah, I think we'll continue to to get it rolling like we're hoping. There was some looks where we have kind of an RPO where we end up throwing a bubble out there to Bijan or any of our guys that shoot. If we do hand it off, the run looks pretty good, but we'll always take those advantageous looks, especially to get to the ball to some of our guys in space. So the rushing numbers, could they look different if a couple of those get handed off? For sure, but those runs of like 2, 3, and 4 the other day, typically just comes down to one guy, whether you're on the backside, the front side, it could be a receiver. There were some opportunities for those runs of 2, 3, and 4 to possibly be 8, 9, 10, 12. And so obviously we'll just continue to coach up the fundamentals, techniques, everything we're looking for, but we definitely got to get a jump on that, especially this week.
To that end, what has Matthew Bergeron meant to the run game?
Yeah, no, he does a great job. I mean, he's such a valuable player, run and pass game. There's really no weaknesses to his game. He's obviously he's a converted left tackle, but what he's been able to accomplish in the run game the last couple of years, you definitely feel him. You definitely feel the influence that Led's had on him in terms of his development. So definitely miss him. Hopefully he can get back soon. But Berge has done a great job in the run game and the pass game as well.
Got to ask you, Zach, about Drake, especially in that fourth quarter, almost like willing that drive to continue on several occasions. Just how impressed were you with him?
Oh, incredibly impressed. I mean, he's such a competitor, and he goes into each game wanting it so bad, and then for him to make those plays in those moments was awesome. It's what football is all about. It's a player's game, and guys make plays at crucial moments, and those guys stepped up and made a ton of plays in the second half. Obviously, get the illegal contact and catches the ball over Gonzalez, the 2 key fourth down conversions, the one obviously that at the end of the game there. So Drake's the ultimate competitor, and he rises to the occasion in all those moments. That's been him since college, and that's been him it's in our time here the last couple of years.
You've been around elite receivers for a good amount of time going back to college, right? How would you where would you kind of put Drake in that category, and just how good has he been in your 2 years?
He's as good as all of them. I mean, I've played with Des Bryant, different kind of style there. The Cooper Kupps, the Pukas. I mean, you put Drake right there with all of them. They're all really good players, all a little bit different, but they all have similar traits in terms of being able to separate, having strong hands, having route nuance and craft at the top of the route, releases. So there's really nothing Drake can't do. Obviously, getting him down the field on some things, some double moves have been really positive this year, just with his ability to go up and just make plays when the ball's in the air. So he's right up there with all the guys in the league. Wouldn't trade him for anybody, and we're glad that he's had the production he's had the last couple of years, and we obviously look forward to him continue to that.
Is anyone as good on those high point catches, where he goes up and these giant hands and just seems to call everything in?
I can't think of anybody. His college tape, he was mostly playing into the boundary as the X receiver, and they were throwing him obviously jump ball after jump ball, and then you saw other nuances that he had when he moved into the slot. Before we got here, he was mostly playing X, and where he was a lot into the boundary. We move him around a decent amount. He's in the slot a lot. He's lined up out wide, and he has so much versatility, throughout the route tree. But his ability to go up and get it when the ball is in a good location, there's really no DB that can stop it. He's incredibly strong. Obviously, he's physical. So all those things work really well for Drake's game.
When it comes to getting Tyler involved, it's never as simple as just give him the ball more, right? But he has only touched the ball 10 times in the last 3 games. What's kind of led into that? Is that just game flow, or
Yeah, there's I would say a little bit of both. There was opportunities, like I kind of mentioned with Ken, like he was in on some of those runs that the ball ended up going on an RPO to our receivers or to Bijan, and so there was 3 or 4 of those in the game where he could possibly had 3 or 4 carries, and maybe he gets going with a little bit there. But we definitely got to get Ty going. He's way too valuable for the offense. We got to find those spots to put him in, knowing, hey, we love B. He can do everything. He's playing running back. He's playing receiver. He's doing everything for us. 3rd down, 2nd down, 1st down, doesn't matter. But getting Ty going on some early down stuff is definitely a goal.
Mike Legretto had a scramble in that game where he showed a little bit of juice. Did that surprise you to kind of, or you just your general thoughts on the burst?
He was moving from the sideline. He looked like the fastest player on the field, and he has that ability. Coming out of Washington, ran a 4.4. He's always been fast. He's had moments throughout the season where he's take off and gone, but seeing him, split the middle of the defense there, pick up a huge conversion on a 2nd and 15, big time play. So we continue to emphasize those things, knowing that's the theme of the league. You see guys that are able to move around, made a couple out of pocket scrambles as well, the one to Drake on the last drive. So all those things, just will continue to come to life the more comfortable he gets, all those things. But we're definitely encouraging anytime he's got a seam, he can definitely take it.
Raheem has said, after the losses, there's things you got to get fixed. And I know you've said it at times too. What have you guys fixed at this point?
Yeah, I think we're continuing to just find that level of consistency. We've run the ball well at times. We've thrown the ball well at times. So we're all in this whole thing together. There's a collective intentionality behind everything we're doing in terms of the fundamentals, the details, knowing that the margins are so slim. And so if one guy's off on one play, all right, that could be a different result. If all 11 are working together, then we know what that can look like. So we're continuing to find all those fixes week to week as coaches, and then just understanding, hey, what our players can do, what are we good at right now, trying to emphasize those things, and then obviously trying to have your change-up plays, knowing that defense is watching tape too. So all of us together just getting everything to that level of consistency that we're hoping for.
To your point, was there something that was habits early in the season, something that you weren't finding consistency with, whether it be after some of the losses, that you guys feel good about now?
I would say so. I would say there's been a lot better level of detail with some things, especially in practice, setting yourself up for the game. Now, of course, in a 70-play game on offense or 60 plays, of course there's going to be mistakes that naturally happen, and you're trying to limit those as much as possible. But I would say the guys have reset every single time we've had one of these tough games. They've come back on Monday, got a great look in their eye. They take ownership. We all take ownership as coaches. And then the next Wednesday we come out, these guys are ready to roll. So the resiliency of this group has been awesome. It's been like that even, last year it's a lot of the same guys, but this year can't say enough about how resilient these guys are. It's a close group of coaches, close group of players, and we're all able to look each other in the eye and say, hey, that's not good enough. So what can we do to raise our level? But I thought the other day was an example of it. We're down early in that game. Things weren't going that well, but we were resilient. We're kicking ourselves obviously on the last drive, being able to go down there and in that game on our terms. But the resiliency from the group was definitely positive, and that's been something that's been consistent all throughout the year.
We don't obviously see it from the outside looking in, but there are moments. Buffalo, Bijan has a hot hand. You guys brought him. Drake has a big game the other day. You continue to feed him late. Are there moments when you guys collaborate that you guys say, or the players have that ability to come to you and say, this is working, feed me? Is there something that has happened in that regard?
Yeah, I think the players are everybody's going to want the ball, especially receivers, but and so that's up to us as coaches. Like you said, feeding Drake, he's got the hot hand. You could tell from just the way he practiced last week. You're like, Drake is going to have a great game. And so, that was not a surprise. But again, in those moments, crunch moments, you're always thinking players over plays, and obviously he made a ton of plays down the stretch there to pull us back.
There's always pressure to score, obviously, in the NFL. I mean, every week it's a unique challenge, but this week you're facing the best offense in the NFL in terms of scoring offense. How do you go about that and treating every possession as a potential do or die type of situation?
Yeah, I think, nothing's got to change from our standpoint. We're still trying to just execute that next play mindset no matter what. But obviously there is a heightened urgency. We feel great about our defense and the matchup there as well. So our mindset is every single week, however many points we got to score to make sure that we have one more than our opponent. And we'll continue to emphasize that. But it's a great opponent on both sides of the ball. They got a good defense. We know it's going to be a really good challenge.
What do you see from that defense?
Really sound. They got good players up front. Obviously, you feel their front. You feel their Latu. You feel their interior players. Their linebacking core. Obviously, they just added a good corner. So there's really not a weak spot of the defense. Feels very similar to last week with New England. They're just very solid, very sound. It's a good scheme. They present a lot of challenges from that standpoint. Coach Anarumo's been around for a long time, and he's obviously well respected. So we respect the way that they coach, the way that they play. It's definitely going to be a big challenge.
You spoke highly of Matthew Bergeron just a minute ago. What gives you the confidence that Kyle Hinton can fill those big shoes? Literally.
Because he's done, because he's done it. Yeah, because he's done it, and he was called upon last year at times. I thought he did a good job once he settled into the game the other day. So he's obviously a big body in there. You feel the stoutness that he has in pass protection. You feel him in the run game as well. So we got a ton of confidence in Kyle. He's been a guy that's been grown up through the system, and Coach Led knows him as good as anybody. When Kyle's in there, it's like, hey, don't have to change a thing. So his experience and the way that he's played when he's in there, he's shown us he can do it.
And then Raheem said Chris is day-to-day, so what's the plan there as you progress through the week?
Yeah, we just, similar to a lot of weeks, with Drake and with Mike, a couple weeks ago, and you just kind of build the plan accordingly. And if you got to adjust some things, say Friday or, a couple weeks ago, it was Saturday afternoon. And so that's our job, is just to be ready to adjust to it. But, hopefully we got Chris out there. If not, we'll get the next guy up when we're ready to roll.
In a few weeks and some personal changes on the offensive side, you moving down, TJ taking on a different, workflow and everything. How has that paid off on the field?
I think it's been good. The communication down on the sideline has been really positive. We haven't got the results that we want, and we're, kicking ourselves about that. We put ourselves in a hole. It was obviously good early when it happened, but I think our communication's been really good. The guys up in the booth are doing a great job communicating the personnels and different things in between series, and then I'm able to go over to Ledford and not have to go on the headset there. We can just kind of communicate with the offensive line. I'm right there with Mike. Hey, receivers are right there. So I think all that's been great. TJ's done a great job with that group, and we feel really good collectively as coaches, just in-game adjustments and the things that have come up.
I'd say the record isn't what you want, the performance isn't there, but do you let that motivate you, or do you just kind of put it behind you?
Yeah, I think all of us in football that have been through highs and lows, some guys channel it and use it as motivation. Some people, you're so concerned with what the next thing is. Hey, we got meetings here. We got go through third downs. We got to go through that. You don't even really, feel that stuff. And so personally, I don't feel that stuff because there's just so much work at hand and leading up to the game. So you don't really feel the outside noise, outside pressure. But some guys, it works for them. And so whatever motivates people, each individual is different. But I know for some of our guys, they can snap out of things and not worry about anything, and they're just worried about the next thing we got.
Is there some sort of self-scout process that you go through each week where you meet with somebody and say, hey,
yeah,
these tendencies, whatever,
yeah, we go through. So yeah, we have a analytics, department. They do a great job. We go through it in game as well. So I get different reports in game. Hey, this is happening, this. So then either it's working and you don't need to change it, or possibly you want to throw them off with something that you've shown. So yeah, we go through that stuff every single week. We check the boxes on everything, making sure it's all clean. I'd say, from where we are as an offense, it checks out every week, and then there's different things that shift, based on the flow of the game, obviously. But it's a great tool to have. Obviously, it's not everything. It's still football at the end of the day. But we use all those tools and see if, hey, this actually does matter, this doesn't matter, and then we kind of keep it moving from there.
We established off camera, you don't know that much German. You're not fluent in it. But as you go over for a business trip outside of the game itself, anything that you're interested in taking in that you want to see while you're over there?
Not really. I haven't really thought about it. Well, I think we got some time on Friday. Friday evening, some coaches might grab some dinner, just kind of hack around the city. But I'm not a huge history buff or anything. We were looking at the stadium earlier, just checking out kind of the scope of it. It looks like an unbelievable place to play, and I know the atmosphere is going to be really cool. So we're mostly just excited to get to the stadium and get to the game. But all the other stuff, the organization's done a great job just setting up this whole trip. It's very detailed. Every hour is accounted for, and so we're all looking forward to it. But I think just there's like a 2-hour window maybe on Friday night we might sneak out for some dinner.